For more on the situation, we're joined by Israeli journalist and TV host Tal Heinrich. Tal, thank you. Can you bring us up to speed right now? What's the latest you've heard?
Well, Hamas continues to target the territories of Israel, mainly targeting the south and the center of the country. Throughout the day, Tel Aviv and its suburbs, this area in the center, saw 3 different barrages of rockets, 3 different rounds. And, each barrage rains hundreds of rockets sometimes. And just in the last hour, they issued another warning to this area that around midnight Israel time, they are intended to fire another round of rockets. We've seen some direct hits in this area throughout the day. One more Israeli casualty in the area of Ramat Gan, if I'm not wrong, this city in the center. So the death toll is increasing. And as you said, the IDF at this hour also continues to operate. Prime Minister Netanyahu just delivered a speech not so long ago in which he said that Israel still has targets in the Gaza Strip. So the operation is still on, and they intend to retaliate to Hamas attacks and protect the citizens of Israel from Hamas.
And Tal, there's a big back and forth going on right now in the U.S. media. The AP had offices in the building. Al Jazeera had offices in the building. They were warned to get out. They did. But in the aftermath of it, we saw the AP's comment. Al Jazeera reporter went on air saying she was outraged at what happened. Here's the question, though. Am I correct in understanding that this building was either owned or operated by the Qatari government, who had leased space to not only the AP and Al Jazeera, but also to Hamas?
So this is what the IDF has been saying. I can tell you because I've been following Israeli media. What you're describing is what is reported right now in the Israeli media, that Hamas has had several offices in this building, certain assets of their intelligence wing. My question is, I think this is the more interesting question, is did the AP and Al Jazeera know that they were, housing their offices in the same building? In either case, the journalists were warned in advance, and so they had sufficient time to evacuate. But that brings us to this is really one of the issues that President Biden has just brought up in his phone with Prime Minister Netanyahu, the protection of journalists, and he also voiced his concerns for civilian casualties in the Gaza Strip.
And I think it's very important that the Qatari government the way we understand it, as you point out, this is what the IDF is telling us, Israeli Defense is telling us, is that Hamas had offices. That's why they targeted that building, because they were going after the Hamas intelligence offices, warned the AP to get out of the building, warned the journalists to get out of the building. They got out of the building. The question is, why would the AP be sharing a building with a terrorist group?
Well, I can't answer this question, but, this is a question that has to be referred to the AP. It's not something that they referred to in their statement, right? The statement that you read before. Did they know? If so, and when did they know? If they did, why didn't they move their offices? Or in case that they didn't know, then, the IDF maybe should have notified them in advance or so. This is certainly one of the incidents that has drawn a lot of international attention. And you have to bring in mind that it comes after another, I will call it a clash or dispute between the IDF spokesperson unit and foreign media outlets over what happened Thursday night. That was some secret, sophisticated operation by the IDF in which the strategy was to lure Hamas and Islamic Jihad operatives into their terror tunnels in order to attack them there. And international media outlets said that the IDF spokesperson unit had issued a very blurry, confusing statement over an imminent ground incursion into Gaza, and that the real strategy was to confuse Hamas through the media outlets. But we don't know if that's really 100% the case.
Tal, we really appreciate your time. Tal Heinrich, thank you.
Thank you.